everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Aracely and I'm a full-time engineer living in Munich, and I really wanted to share how I am planning to set myself up for success in 2023. I am very much an organizer. I love planning. I love goal setting. These are just different things that I enjoy doing, and I think it keeps my mind organized and give myself some breathing space in case things go off track or have to change throughout the year. So also adding some sort of flexibility. I personally love the start of a new year, a new month, a new day, because I feel like it's a chance to build the life you want and see for yourself, and you don't have to be stuck in the past, be stuck in any mistakes or different things that just didn't go right the day before or last year, and it feels like you just get a fresh start, a fresh opportunity to try it again. I hope you stick around, and I hope this video inspires you and motivates you. Let's get started with today's video. So first off, I don't think that New Year's resolutions stick necessarily. I think it's better to set goals, systems, and habits and really break them down in order to be successful, because in the past I know I have set a long list for the new year and it's just overwhelming, it's daunting. I personally just get unmotivated because it just seems like I won't be able to get through the whole list. And I want to share my steps to getting ready for the new year and making the best of a fresh start. I know it can be scary because you hear everyone making different resolutions, making different goals for themselves. I think it's important to kind of step back and be realistic with what's best for you. So this year, I really want to get back to keeping track of my goals and my weekly life, because this past year in 2022, my life changed drastically. I moved from the US to Munich, and I feel like it just kind of threw me off balance for the whole year. I feel like I was just getting used to living here and building a new routine, building my new life here. And I really wasn't motivated to set goals for myself or any new tasks, because I was already so overwhelmed with all of the other things I had to get used to. But now in this new year, I am so excited that I now feel like I have a hang of what life is like here, and I can set myself up for something new and something exciting for the new year. So 2023 for me is actually about living my life that I moved to Germany for. I feel like I had a vision in 2021 for what I wanted in 2022, and then moving to Germany just kind of made everything shift. I feel like my priorities changed, my goals changed, and now I get the chance to really live the life that I want to live, because I feel like I've learned how to navigate all of these changes. So I want to share some steps that I took to create my goals for 2023 so that maybe you can apply them or follow along and do it yourself. Maybe pull out a notebook and a pen and just start brainstorming as I kind of talk through these steps. So the first thing I did, which I kind of already talked about in my introduction, and that is reflect on the past year. What worked, what didn't, what went well, what was some of your highlights. I think looking at what also could be improved, what was missing, some lowlights. So looking at the good and bad for the last year and really reflecting on it, maybe journaling for like 10 to 15 minutes and just thinking about a summary of the past year. So 2022, how could you summarize the year? So that's what I did in order to really think about what I wanted in 2023. Number 2 is visualize the life you want to have. Visualize the life you want to have, not only next year, but also 3 years from now, 5 years, 10 years. Really thinking about what are your values, what are your dreams, what's something that you really want to have in the future, and just visualizing that. Make a vision board. I love doing that. I think I've made one the past 3 years. When I first made one, I can say most of the things happened because it's something that I looked at every day and I really put that in my mind. So it was there when I was making decisions throughout my life that year. So making a vision board, brain dump just on a piece of paper, just a bunch of different things. Like, you want to buy a house, you want to live in a different city, all these things you want to do or have or be. I also love talking it out with someone else. I love talking it out with my fiance Patrick. He really listens to me, and I can just kind of word vomit, and I can tell him everything that's going on, things that I really see for us together as a couple, because with him I also have to think about things that we want to do together and as a team. Number 3 is to break down the life you want in present tense. So really using I have or I am. So really using that present tense to start believing the things that you want. Number 4 is to brainstorm how you will get there and make a list. Make a list without limit. So just start making a laundry list of different ways that you see yourself getting to that life you want. And number 5 that I think is so important in order to really be organized with this process is to group goals together and group them into themes. So what themes would be like health, finance, travel, career, hobbies. So you can really start building a system, and then within those different categories you will start to actually be able to break them down a little bit more specific. Number 6, revise the list. So prioritize. Then you start being more realistic and more methodical about how you will actually accomplish these big dreams that you have for your future self and what your future life will look like. Number 7, make sure the goals have some sort of deadline. So make sure that they are actionable steps, that they have a timeline within the year. You don't want to just say, okay, in 2023, I am going to be fluent in Spanish, because you won't have any steps that you can track along the way, or you won't have points throughout the year. So for example, one of my goals is to be better at speaking German. So with that goal, I would break it down to saying I would like to reach a B2 level in German by June 2023. And then I would like to reach C2 by the end of 2023 in December. So kind of breaking down that big daunting goal of being fluent in German, I'm breaking it down to different levels that I know I can reach. So number 8. Goals should reflect your values and serve who you are or aim to be. So you want to really reflect on who you are right now and who you've been and how you see yourself growing. Because you don't want to set goals that are so unlike you, because you won't want to go for them, because that's just not who you are or who you truly want to be. So they have to be goals that you truly want yourself, not anyone else, and reflect on what you want in life. Because I know in the past I have written goals that I feel like, oh, I should put this down because everyone's having this goal right now. But then at the end, I didn't pursue that goal because it wasn't me. It wasn't something that I know I wanted for myself. Number 9, don't overwhelm yourself. Your goals should push you, but also be attainable in a healthy way. They should not scare you to the point of just forgetting your entire list, making you so stressed and anxious that you are constantly scared to look at the list, because you want it to be exciting. You want it to be something that you look forward to every day, and it should be something that is inspiring and not going to scare you away from growth. Number 10 is to make these goals habits. Keep track and check in with them as much as you want and is realistic for you. I suggest weekly, if not daily. For me personally, I love setting up my vision board somewhere that I see it every day, and that way I can remind myself to act in the way that my vision board self would want me to, in order to really make those goals habits and make those almost like sub goals my everyday habits, my weekly habits, so that I can keep going. And even if it's just like 1% towards that end of the year goal, it's going to make a huge difference than if I went weeks without thinking about it, and then maybe accomplished 3% of the goal. So it's really important to be consistent, and it's also important to hold yourself accountable. So keeping track of them in some sort of list, whether that's digital, whether that's on a piece of paper. I personally like my bullet journal in order to keep track of my goals every month. So once I had my list of goals, I wanted to create a way to track them and hold myself accountable, and I took out a blank journal that had been sitting on my shelf, and you know what? I turned it into my bullet journal, and this is something that I'm going to use every day. I've done bullet journaling before. It was very daunting to me because I saw these tutorials on YouTube that were beautiful layouts, and I felt like I just couldn't do that, and I didn't have the time to invest in it. So this year I'm keeping it very simple, and you'll see when I show you, it is very, very simple. I did not go all out on my layout. So here is my layout. So based on my goals, habits, and organization traits, I wanted to have a yearly outlook, a monthly and weekly outlook as well. I also made a list of my top goals for the year, and then every month I will list a breakdown of essentially mini goals that I have within every goal that belong to the overall list of goals at the beginning of my bullet journal. I also made a list of a few habits that I want to keep track of on a daily basis, and those may change every month depending on how I see them progressing. So if they're successful, I will keep them. If I feel like they're not serving me, then I'm just gonna get rid of them and make some new habits in the new month. So I really only set up January because that's the first month, and I want to test out the layout and make sure it works for February, and then if it will work for February, I'll keep it, or maybe I'll modify a few things, and so on for the rest of the year. So in the weekly view, I added a shopping list section for my groceries or things I need to pick up. So that's something that I can also just be more mindful of my meal planning for the week as well. Then after the weekly view, I also have affirmations and morning and night routines that I want to try for the week. Again, those could change for the second week of January because maybe some things didn't stick or some things aren't realistic or feasible for me. So those will change, and I'll kind of update them as I go. And I really wanted to keep this as flexible as possible because sometimes I put way too much pressure on me to be 100% on top of my goals and organization, and really being realistic with myself on how much I can handle. It's super important, and I encourage you to do the same. So getting into sharing some of my goals for the new year, here's my vision board. It is very large. I just kind of want to give you some of the highlights of my vision board, some things that I am looking forward to in the new year. I really tried to find images that showcased exactly what I wanted as best as I could, so it was a true representation of things I want, maybe like the aesthetic I kind of want for my life and what I really envision for myself. So one big thing is really taking care of my body in the new year, and taking care of myself and being grateful for the abilities that my body currently has, going for a run, being able to carry heavy bags of groceries. Like those things I feel like I take for granted, and I want to be grateful for all the things my body does to keep me healthy and to protect me. And so really being more mindful about food that I consume and being more active, living a more active lifestyle. Another one is traveling, so taking advantage of living in as Central Europe as you can get and being able to travel through all these cities by train, short flights, hopefully by car next year because I will have my company car soon. And taking advantage of traveling and also bringing my dog along with once we have a car, and taking like road trips. All of that is so exciting to me, and just taking life by the reins. I think that's the phrase. Correct me if I'm wrong, I don't remember it right now, but essentially just taking everything life has to offer and living my life fully. I think that's something I'm really excited about in the new year. Also, being kind, being more generous, and also being more fearless, being more adventurous, bold. I think I get in my head a lot about things and I get very stuck into my introverted self, but I want to be at peace with myself and be confident and own who I am. Yeah, just being brave and being active, being present in my life, all these things, hosting dinner parties. I want to really grow my friendship and community here in Munich and host people, host friends, dinner parties. That sounds like so much fun. We had some with friends in this past year, but I really want to be a friend that can gather everyone and build a community with. So those are some of the things on my vision board, but in my bullet journal, I really want to reach a B2 German level by July 2023. Another thing is to also take my YouTube channel more seriously. I want to reach 1K subs on YouTube at some point this year. I want to take my content creation more seriously because it's been so much fun. And I originally started it as a way for me to make almost like video diary entries for myself, my fiance, my family, my future self, just because I felt like I was going through so much after graduating college that I wanted to remember it for myself. But now I really want to take it more seriously and post content that's more fun for other people to watch, not just my family. So please let me know if you guys have video ideas or content you want to see, especially if you're a subscriber, because I feel like you subscribe for a reason. So I want to make the content that you were hoping for me. So I'm very open to that, and I'm excited to be more creative in the new year and take on some new hobbies as well. There's just so much I want to do, but I'm just so excited, and I hope that it's exciting for you. So with that being said, I wish you the absolute best in the new year. Happy New Year, and also don't take life too seriously because things change. So be flexible, be open-minded, be open to what life gives you. So I will see you guys in my next video, but take care. Bye, friends.